Hey girls, it's me. I have thought long and hard about doing this. Like, am I gonna do this? Am I not gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? Do I want to do this? Um, but I've decided that you know, I can have a little bit of a moan. Since there's people literally like destroying other deck creators' careers left, right, and center. I am allowed to have a bit of a moan about a bad Kickstarter experience I had. And it's been like so annoying, honestly, that I haven't been able to enjoy the deck at all, even though it's an absolutely stunning deck. I think I look really hot today, by the way, as well. I mean, look at me. I'm feeling myself. So yay for that. This deck comes in a slipcase, and I already knew something was up when it was in this slipcase and when there was no plastic around the deck, and I thought, this kind of looks like it's been opened, and it was. It's the Oracle of the Shifting Shadow by Mort Sparrow and Emily Sparrow, which, already kind of sounds like people named Serafina living in Glastonbury. They live there as well. So, whatever. That's completely fine and cool. This was a Kickstarter campaign which I was really enthusiastic about because these are European creators. And, we see tons of United States creators. We barely see any European creators. So I wanted to, love this and have this. And, what I already during the campaign, some decisions were made that made me go a little bit like, huh? For example, it's on extremely high gloss cardstock, which literally functions like a freaking mirror. As you can see, you can literally see me waving to myself in there. But then again, this was not mentioned during the campaign. So this was not, so, it was kind of buy this or pre-order this, back this at your own risk, because you're not going to know what this is going to end up looking like. They did show practically all the art, so we knew, but we didn't know any deck specs. And I'm not the biggest, this is not a huge problem for me. But this would have looked lovely on a linen or on a, more matte finish. Then when I opened up the box, something else, looked kind of weird. And you can tell, especially when you look at the deck like this, that's why I'm sitting towards this fugly background. As you can see very clearly, one card is the creator. This got me fuming. In the replies on the Kickstarter, the creator said it's just a smidge. This is not a smidge, honey. This is like a good couple millimeters. There's a card in here that's bigger, taller, wider than the rest of all the cards, and it's really annoying because it didn't have to be. Let me show you really quickly. I mean, it is as tall. Wow, they actually did a pretty good job at that. This is actually quite minimal, so I may be able to fix this. It is just as tall, but it is wider. Is it just as tall? Let me quickly... Yeah, it is about as tall, but it is a little itty bit wider, which, as you can see, it's very minimal when you look at it like this. But when you hold the whole deck in your hands and you put this card somewhere in between, it's very, very, very easy to notice that there is a card in the deck. As you can tell right here, right now, you can see that it's uneven. The deck is uneven. I'm holding it here. Boop, there. So I thought, that's weird. Let me head over to the Kickstarter page to see how this can be solved. And there was this huge kerfuffle in the comments about people sort of like asking, hey, what's up? And we were getting these random answers like, "It's just a fairy. It's so funny that this happened to their release card. It's just the fairies playing with us. So you know, it's going to be like this, and it's going to stay like this, and we're not gonna send out corrected cards." So I was like, "No, that's not, you know, how that works. You can still not send out corrected cards, but you owe us an explanation as to why it happened this way." And we did get an explanation. Also really funny. Also for people who perform cardistry tricks will know this. When you have a card that is uneven like this, and it sort of skews the weight, and it will almost always end up on the front or the back of the deck. It will rarely end up in the middle. Look, shuffled it again. Right now it is right here. I can feel it. It's at the end. So if I shuffle this 3 times, it will always be, if I overhand this 3 times, it will always be on the top or on the bottom. Now it's on the other side of the deck. That's why having cards all cut the same way is important. So I thought, hey, I don't want to be a complete bitch about this. This was a dirt cheap Kickstarter. This cost me less than most mass market decks. And to be quite honest with you, it's gloss. That's not my vibe. But still, the box quality is great. The guidebook, we'll get into that. There's a really nice, like, silver stamp thing going on that looks like it doesn't. I haven't noticed that. Sometimes when they do the cold foil stamping, it sort of punches through. Doesn't do that. The illustrations are gorgeous, but I wanted to get to the nitty gritty of things. So I put a comment on their post on Instagram because I didn't get a response on their Kickstarter, and I said, "Hey, how are you guys going to solve this?" Because I know how printing works, and if you have a deck printed like this, that's not normal. So I knew something had to be up. And this is where, and I have been seeing posts on the Tarot Creators Forum and Tarot Deck Creators group on Facebook. This is where, and I'm going to sound very harsh, I come in and I say that super hyper spiritual and artsy people should probably not make decks by themselves on the first try, and they should probably look for a mentor to help them out, because they just can't do it. So I did get an explanation on their Instagram, which I did compliment them for. I said, "Wow, you guys are really transparent by saying this and honest." But what had happened was they had forgotten initially to upload this, to send this art file to their printers. They had forgotten about that. So there was originally a double card in the deck. So they were like, "Ooh, shit, whoops, we made a mistake." That is a mistake that didn't have to happen, because when you work with a printer, you get digital or real, but I prefer digital because it's free. You get a digital proof, which is basically the whole deck mocked up digitally, and you get to see how every card's going to look outlined in their software. And with my Oracle deck, which I happen to have right in front of me, actually, the brother to brother Oracle, when I got my first digital proof, I took my time to meticulously check every card. I have 44 cards in that deck, and I noticed, holy fuck, I accidentally uploaded art that didn't have any keywords on it for one card. So I told my printer, card 36 needs to be taken out. It needs to be replaced with this. I got another proof, and we were all good to go. And it looks like these people were either too high up in the clouds, too spiritual, too busy convening with the fairies to notice that they were missing a card. Also, and I don't know why or how, but these cards were not in the box in alphabetical order. When they are in alphabetical order in the book, which tells me that they didn't upload their art numerically or alphabetically when they sent it over to their printers, which makes it very difficult to check. So it was a human mistake, and they tried to fix it by having that one card reprinted. And it sounds like a fabulous thing to do. You know, you can just have that card reprinted, hence why there was no band around the cards in the box, why there was no plastic around the box, because they probably did that by hand. So they had it reprinted, put the card in, blah, blah, blah. But this is the fucked up thing. When you do a print run and you have one single card reprinted, they can never make it so that that card is exactly the same as a previous print run. And that's what they told me. So it was a human mistake. Having this card reprinted already cost them a shit ton of money. And because the deck is gilded, I can't trim this down, because I could trim it down a little bit, but then it would still be obvious that that is the card that was missing a piece, because it would be missing the gilding. And there's no way for me to re-gild this in the same shiny gilding. Had they not have gone with this gilding, this would have been fine. So either now I'm going to have to trim all the cards a little bit to get the gilding off, or I'm just going to have to live with the fact that there's a slightly larger card in the deck, which I'm going to put in the middle again so you can see how weird that is, which will always end up on top or at the bottom of the deck whenever I shuffle this. Because that's what happens when you shuffle decks that have irregular card size. I can show you again. I can show you right now, like literally overhand it 3 times. I can already feel it. I can feel this constantly. Oh, and it's sort of in the middle now, which is kind of interesting. That hasn't happened before, so that's pretty cool. But you can feel that card moving through the deck as you shuffle. For an art that's already considered quackery by lots of people. Look, it's at the end again. It's can we tell? Can we see? I need people to see. I mean, it's literally at the end. For an art that's already considered quackery, this is a very unfortunate mishap. It can happen, but yeah. Like the way it was addressed, you know, or sort of, I don't know, it's the fairy's fault. Makes me want to, like I told them, and I gave them that feedback, you should have taken on a project manager. You should have asked for help from people who already know what they're doing, because obviously you don't. I can't even like show you these. Shall I show them to you? It's a really pretty deck. Focus is a great card. What's this? Patience. It's cute. Portal. It's right up my alley. It's just such a shame that they went with this hyper, like even the make playing cards gloss isn't as glossy as this, so that was highly unnecessary. You know, I'm not even going to read all the keywords because y'all can read, y'all are not illiterate. It's just a really, really, really pretty deck, and it's such a shame that you know, like once again, I've been meeting too many artistic people lately who can't get their organization together. We're not even talking business here. I've been meeting too many talented people who are too creative for their own good, and it's sort of, I don't know, it's kind of been pissing me off, you know, because they get all these accolades, and you know, I even though if I feel like a product that is sent to clients should be correct and not wrong, you know, and since they fucked up, now their complete print run is fucked up. So yeah, obviously it sucks for them a lot. I'm not even gonna upload this under the name of this deck, and also I don't want, because last time something shitty happened to a deck creator, and the whole like community started sort of, I don't know, like creating this drama and started like comment bombing this creator's Facebook page and Instagram page and every fucking page. That's not the tea. This is just me, a boy who loves a deck that he got, but is super disappointed in, you know, the lack of... I may actually, like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm probably gonna... Can I even trim little bits off the bottom? I probably can. I sort of want to... Because I'm never, 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 ever going to use this deck like this. So I'm thinking about de-gilding the whole fucking thing. And then trimming the last card down into a thing where I will actually be able to use it. But I love everything about this deck. I love how, like, European it is, how Celtic it is. There was lots of feedback on this Kickstarter campaign. I love all the androgynous and masculine figures in it. What's this? Oh my god. Oh yeah, of course that had to happen as well. Like, when you work with a printer that is like not that great, which is probably a printer they worked with, you will get, and it's very hard to tell on camera, but you will get, for example, this has little specks of this silver on the front of the cards, which is why I prefer if people didn't do shit like this, because it doesn't really add to the experience. Good quality gilding does, but that foil stamping on the cards doesn't, and it can cause, you know, this gorgeous image to be sort of corrupted by that, and I think it's a shame. But yeah, as you can see, it's an absolutely stunning deck. But I can't even hold it because of that one stupid card. Or I could just take that card out. But it's already such a slim deck with 33 cards. But yeah, it is a stunning deck. It's just such a shame that these people don't seem to have the capacity to pay attention to a process that requires organization. And I wish these people would have had the foresight to ask people. I've helped people. I know Danny from Astral Mermaid Art has helped people. She's helped me. We don't even ask money for it. Usually we do get like some sort of form of repayment. But we just do it because we love decks and we love helping other people and we love seeing them thrive. But these, you know, hyper creative ones, they just want to do everything themselves, and they are apparently not that good at it. Such a waste of paper, such a shame, such a waste of gilding. All for this, like this, maybe you can tell on this card, she has little specks of silver on there as well. She has it right, can we tell? A little speck of silver right here, and a little speck of silver right here. You know, that's all stuff that didn't have to be there. The guidebook is, because this is, you know, it's a gorgeous deck. It's really stunningly made. I haven't even really been able to enjoy this at all. It's such a shame. Like, and this deck came with stickers, a pin, fairy guide to Glastonbury. I didn't want any of that shit. I just wanted a functioning deck. And, you know, it's not, because every time I shuffle it, it brings forward that release card. So another thing that could have used a couple rounds of edits is the guidebook, where they, for example, have every title in capital letters, except for, let's see, except for growth, which is one capital and the rest small. And I think there were more. Oh yeah, and then Affection has a really big font compared to the other ones, and it has more like white space, and then maybe you guys can see this, and then this has a little it won't focus. Oh, yoo-hoo, focus on this, please. Well, you know, this has a smaller title, so all this isn't really, the fonts are kind of a mess. The font choices are kind of a mess. There could have been some spelling and grammar editing. Some write-ups have a really, really, really tiny font that's barely legible. I had the same thing happen to my guidebook for my first deck, so stuff like that can happen, but at least all the info is there. And then the spreads are a little bit underwhelming, but there's only so much you can do with a even the quality of the guidebook paper is like it's such high quality. I wish I'd rather they would have skimped a little on that, have it be a black and white and thinner guidebook without the fucking art in there, because we're already looking at that when we're doing a spread. And then, if that would have given them the time to focus on a functioning deck, that would have been so amazing. So I'm purposely not going to name this video Oracle of the Shifting Shadow review. These people are really nice. It was their first Kickstarter. It's such a shame that they fucked up so badly. So I'm purposefully not naming it that, and I don't want you guys reaching out to them, sending them messages. I don't want you guys notifying them of this video. This is just me moaning, and also extending my hand to because I'm not, it's also me almost wishing I had the capacity to draw art as gorgeous as this. I can draw, but I'm not as good as them. Like, I sure as fuck want to be that good. I would love to draw stuff as gorgeous as this. So it's me extending a helping hand to anyone who is super duper creative, draws this gorgeous art, but knows deep down inside that they don't have the capacity to do the organizatory stuff, and they can just ask people like me to help them for free. I can help you out. Because they say that they did check like every video about what can go wrong with a tarot Kickstarter, but like there's quite a lot of stuff, and they're not even alone. Like there's two of them. Man, like all the editing that could have been done to this. And it's such a shame because I wanted to love it, and I think in order for me to love it, I'm going to have to trim the whole thing down so it's no longer gilded. And I don't really care about the gilding anyways, because it's that horrible gilding that cuts into your hand. So I'm going to have to do that, and I think I might even do that tonight. It's only 32 cards. It already sucks to work with this. Like, I'm not the best trimmer, but I trimmed down the if you trim down a deck with the illusion of the idea that you are going to get a deck that is perfectly smooth and completely amazing, then you're in for a rough, like. But I trimmed down this deck. This is the Stone Circle Oracle, because it had these horrible, huge ass, you can still sort of see it on the bottom right here. Don't know if y'all can see it, but it had these huge ass borders on there. Maybe I saved one of them cards. I don't think I did. No, I did not, but it had huge borders, and I just decided I didn't want to have those. So I trimmed the whole deck, and it's actually, it's not perfect. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, it is a little bit wobbly here and there, but it shuffles fine. And weird shit like what just happened where none of the cards stick out, and it's not perfect by any means. Like there's some unevenness, as you can tell. Like, oh wow, that looks really bad this way, but as you can tell, there is some unevenness, but it's fine. It works. The deck works now, and it's not broken, and there's no like 2 centimeter borders on there anymore. Like, let me show you how much I took off. I can show you perfectly how much I took off this deck when I trimmed it. Let's see if y'all can see. Like, look, that's how much I took off. What the hell. But those are the old Schiffer decks, so I think I'm going to have to do that. And you know, this has sort of, this was really cheap, but I don't wanna be too negative about it. Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do, because I'm going to shuffle the deck. What the hell is that? Am I discovering more bullshit? Girls. I'm going to shuffle it, this 33 card deck, and I'm going to ask it, oh man, this back foiling is literally so flashy that I can literally see it flashing while my eyes are closed. And while during the shuffling of this deck, I can feel where that one card is the whole time. Oh, it's right here. It's at the back. So, yay. You know? We got Solitude. I already sort of knew we were going to get it. By the way, the cards look a little bit drab on screen. They're a lot more vivid in real life. Solitude. So let's, you know, once again, it's quite, you know, the keywords too are a little bit basic, but, you know, that works. That's good. Let's see what the write-ups are like. Maybe they will really impress me. Contentment with own company, quiet time for yourself. Deep within the quiet and calm cave, a spirit resides with crow companions. They are perfectly contented with the quiet, nurturing their creative spark and slowly helping it to grow into a fire. Every now and then, a crackle of flame gently echoes throughout the ancient cave and illuminates the silent companions. So we're getting a write-up of what we're seeing on the card, probably because this was written and then the other person painted the picture. I'm just assuming things. It is a conflicting idea that we are all one, all connected, but what we should aspire to being completely contented with our solitude. Are you able to be comfortable by yourself? Not working, not busy, but alone with your thoughts. This is really an important theme with shadow work, within shadow work, that should probably say. Because all of the answers do not come from others or from losing ourselves in others. Ooh, that sentence is difficult. This is an important theme with shadow work, because all of the answers do not come from others or from losing ourselves in others, but they come from within us. Okay. Yeah. Perhaps being truly alone for an entire day is not achievable for any of us, but what about an hour? When we take our attention away from others and take ourselves off into the quiet, we gain the ability to achieve inner stillness. It is in these precious moments of solitude that we are able to recharge and nurture the relationships that we have, the relationship that we have with ourselves. Okay, that's cute. Also sort of makes me think that this is a lot of emotions for, you know, a simple, cute little deck like this. But, you know, this really shouldn't have happened had someone paid attention to, you know, the production that we all paid for, rather than, I don't know, smoking fairy dust. And on that note, if you like fairy stuff, gorgeous, gorgeous deck. Illustrations on par, I dare I say, with Brian Froud's work. But maybe, you know, good to know that there is, good to know that there is a card that's really freakishly big that makes it, you know, basically unusable. Thanks for watching, and bye!